Hello, and welcome to Resilience Radio bonus episodes. I'm your host, as usual, Irvin Eisenberg. I am owner of Resilience Occupational Therapy and creator of this show. I am diligently working on Season 2 of this show, and Season 1 has just wrapped up. I wanted to, while you wait, give you some material to listen to. So what we have is bonus questions from previous episodes.
Today's bonus material comes from my interview with the teachers at Vermont Center for Integrated Herbalism, that's VCIH. After the interview, we continued to have a little bit of a conversation about the ideal integration of herbalism into the broader healthcare medical landscape and sort of the diversity needed within a healthcare landscape.
I was wondering how we'd wrap up, but I felt like that actually wrapped things up quite nicely.
Yeah.
I've often, because I've been dealing with clinicians more so than like represent teachers in a school kind of thing in a lot of my interviews, I tend to sort of try to leave with a with like a recommendation kind of thing, but it didn't feel as appropriate to be giving out like generic advice.
No. That's what we're trying to get away from.
Especially as clinical herbalists, like you're not going to be like, eat more garlic. Like, might be a good idea, but that's not what you were.
Not if your tongue is right. Actually, the other thing I did want to say too, like I think Kristin alluded to it, but just as science elucidates some more of the details of, again, how plants are working pharmacologically, what are the doses that are being found to be effective for diseases based on, again, clinical trials and so forth. We'll have more data for more credibility with the mainstream medical establishment. And I think that's a good thing too. Like at this point, like I said, they don't all even understand or are not all aware of the science that has been done in other places. And that's what people respect, is science and those, gold standard kinds of studies. So the more of those we have to, again, it's not like we need that validation. I mean, it's kind of interesting to learn how plants work pharmacology because it validates very often our traditional perspective and how we've used plants. But it also, I think it would be nice to be better respected so that, maybe people get referred to herbalists get referrals, maybe. Sometimes they do. Sometimes we do. But yeah, so having it just be more respected and recognized, like acupuncture. That people know that that's an option.
And part of that is making it more accessible, right? Like acupuncture, chiropractic care for a long time was kind of looked at very similarly to how herbalism is looked at right now, and until the double-blind placebo-controlled studies came out, it wasn't validated by the Western model. And then because of that validation, it was covered by insurance, and so, I definitely agree with you, Betzy, that like having that respect is an important direction to move towards, if for nothing else, just to like have it be more accessible to more folks, because that is definitely a problem. And it's a place that I think VCIH does a really nice job of like filling that hole. Like we make it as accessible as possible with the consultation and with the herbs. But we're kind of a unicorn in that way. Like there's not many places where you can get that kind of access to herbs. So yeah, it'd be wonderful if we went in that more accepted realm.
Well, I really like that that extra little that extra little conversation. I'm trying to figure out how best to utilize it. I might have it as sort of a bonus, extra wishes for herbalism or something bonus on the on the episode. I think I could figure out a way to do that, but because we wrapped up so nicely before, but those are such important points you made there that I that I want to have people have access to those thoughts. So I've made note on the timestamps on those. Are there any questions you wish I had asked?
I don't think so. For me, I think you asked some really good questions. Yeah, it's fun.
And thank you, Irvin, for the work that you do and for, education, like just making this kind of information and these ideas and thoughts, again, accessible or just, out in the world that's an awesome service. So appreciate what you're doing too, because I know that's a lot of work to edit and put it all together. And
yeah, it's been a fun project because I feel like I was reflecting on what are my sort of skill sets as a practitioner and as a person, and I realized that I don't view myself as an eclectic. I do have my specific areas of focus, but I have I refer to this like the ABCs. I wouldn't say I'm fluent in, but I can have a conversation with lots of different types of professionals, and I have a comfort with herbalism in particular. Sort of literally, I was mentioning to Rosemary that when my mother was taking her correspondence course, I was in utero. So I've been really steeped in herbalism, and I'm around enough herbalists that I don't necessarily feel the urge to be one myself, but so it's been fun to sort of be, I truly believe in it takes all different types of resources to support somebody's health. And that's what resilience is having all those different types that it needs to be. I was trying to decide between when Rebecca came up with the word resilience to name my business. And I was like, we were having a walk in the woods, and I was saying, I want something that kind of means dynamic equilibrium, but isn't but that's a terrible business name.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this bonus material. If so, share it with a friend and subscribe via the podcatcher of your choice. While you're there, you can always leave a 5-star review, and that really does help out quite a bit. You've been listening to Resilience Radio bonus material. Take care.